A new survey is highlighting the cost of cancer treatment. CP24's Artis Zakarian joins us live from the newsroom with the latest data from Angus Reid and the Canadian Cancer Society. Artis.
Right. Thank you, Bakari. They partnered for this survey. I'm actually going to bring in Shachi Kurl. She is the president of the Angus Reid Institute. Thank you so much, Shachi, for joining us. Appreciate your time. Can you tell us about your study and how this is an underreported part of being diagnosed with cancer?
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Arda. So, yes, this survey that we partnered with the Canadian Cancer Society to do really looks at, as you mentioned, the out-of-pocket costs of cancer. And, you know, just watching that clip with the revamped Terry Fox video, Terry Fox ran his Marathon of Hope at a time when survival rates for many cancers were not nearly as good as they are today. So with that success, with the fact that more people are actually surviving various different forms of cancer, it does mean that we need to think differently and almost reframe the conversation around how people are living with cancer rather than dying from it. And what we can tell you is that over the course of their lifetime, most people diagnosed in Canada with cancer will end up paying a total of $33,000 for and associated with their treatment. So whether it's direct treatment, the cost of drugs, the cost of travel, lost work, all of these things have a financial impact. And so we know from this study that 40% of people who are diagnosed with cancer report later that they had trouble doing things like saving for their own retirements in the future. About 1 in 5 of them ended up having to either take significant unpaid time off from work or had trouble keeping up with the costs of everyday living. And how often do we talk of cost of living problems and challenges, Arda, for healthy people? And what's really key is that there's the other bits that people don't often talk about, the mental health aspects to this and how that can sometimes keep you out of work, missed opportunities for things like promotions or losing your job altogether just because you can't return to work. So it carries not only the health burden, but the financial burden as well.
Is there anything surprising that you found coming out of this study?
I think it's all pretty stark. And, you know, my stock answer is always to say that I am not surprised by our data. And that's because we want to be really kind of clean and clear-headed about how we approach the data and to go into this without any presupposed notions of what we're going to find. But I think some of the key takeaways are really stark around job loss, around job suppression, and just the fact that for so many people living with cancer, that is actually a great news story. But the challenge is around how to make it so that people living with cancer can find some financial burden eased, whether that's through programs such as the provincial governments or other places investing more in things, for example, like early screening and detection. The best kind of cancer is the cancer you don't get, or the cancer that's caught really, really early, or whether it's things like more support for caregivers and for patients, both financially and otherwise, so that when they have to take a day off to drive you, if you're a cancer patient, to the specialist or the doctor or for treatment, then they're also not sharing the financial costs involved.
Shachi, thank you so much for your time, for breaking it all down for us. We appreciate it. Shachi Kurl is the president of Angus Reid Institute. Thank you. We're going to send it back to you, Bakari.
Okay, joining us live from the newsroom, CP24's Artis Zakarian. Thank you.